Random thoughts. In this video, I'm going to read parts of Sir Richard Burton's book, First Steps in East Africa, Exploration of Harar, and these are now actually the last videos I'm doing. Not this is not actually the last video, but this series is the last videos. Could be it's going to be like maybe 4 or 5 videos or less than that. I will see how it goes because I don't want to stretch one video too long. Now, of course, this is a book that was published in 1850s, and this is a book that was written Sir Richard Burton trying to tell us his journey from Aden to Zeila to Harar to Berbera and then back to Aden. And now I've done videos about his journey to Harar, his stay in Harar, and him coming to Berbera. Now we are at Berbera, and at Berbera he does meet other British officers who had been sent to help him with this campaign, and they are Speck, and there is Herne, and there is Troyer. Now, but they also had a huge, we can say, team that accompanied them, a team of locals, not really locals, but Africans for the most part. And Troyer, Herne, and Speck went straight to Berbera, while Burton went to Harar first, and then he comes to Berbera. Now, in this series, we are going to look at them at Berbera and then being attacked, and one of them being killed and then escaping, going back to Aden. Now, I'll start from where it tells us about the people who accompanied them. So it tells us about the people who accompanied, specifically Speck, Troyer, and Herne to Berbera. Of course, Richard Burton did have his team, which was mostly Somali people who accompanied him. Not go with any other British officer, he was just by himself, and then there were these other guys. But then he tells us about the team that went to Berbera, and he says, our little party consisted of 42 souls. At Aden, I had applied officially for some well-trained Somali policemen, but as an increase of the establishment had been urged upon the home authorities, my request was refused. So he had requested that he be given trained police officers who were of Somali origin to accompany him, of course, to the Horn of Africa, but that was denied. We were fain to content ourselves with a dozen recruits of various races, Egyptian, Nubian, Arab, and Negro, whom we armed with sabres and flint muskets. So in the end, they opted to hire people from other places, Egyptian, Nubian, Arab, and Negro, which means, and I've said when the word Negro is used in some of these documents, it can be very difficult to figure out what does that actually mean, because it doesn't classify Somalis as Negro. That's what you get. So it most likely means people maybe from maybe what we know today as Kenya, which was not there, maybe Tanzania, those sides. And he says they armed them, of course, and then he continues to say, the other members of the expedition were our private servants and about a score of Somal and our rival protector, Jami Hassan and Burhale Nu. So they did have people locals, Somali people who help them, and he gives example of Jami Hassan and Burhale Nu. But these people, when you read further, you come to realize some of these people are not actually there on their side per se, because in the end, some of them basically betrayed them. The Ras, or captain of the Kafila, was one Mahmud of the Majartin, better known at Aden as El Bailius, or the envoy. He had the reputation of being shrewd manager, thoroughly acquainted with the habits and customs as well as the geography of Somaliland. So he tells us who basically the guy they had picked to be kind of like in charge of the rest, and he gives us that summary about him. So now they have this team. Richard Burton has come from Harar, he's come to Berbera, now he meets these other guys. They are now as a team. Now they are going to move around a bit, and then it is when they are still moving around a bit that they are going to be attacked, and Troyer is going to be killed. We are going to see what happened in the next video. Those are my random thoughts.